This team's built to beat a team like that. That's why we play the way we play. Play your game, have some fun, let's enjoy it, let's go win.
We take you from those final words of encouragement from Steve Donahue, the Penn coach, to the mayhem of Wichita, Kansas. It will feel like Allen Fieldhouse South in the Midwest Regional because their beloved Jayhawks, again the Big 12 champions, again a #1 seed, set to take on the Penn Quakers, the #16 seed. As you take a look at the bracket in the Midwest region, that's our first matchup today. Seton Hall and North Carolina State will follow, and you see the rest of the Midwest. And we welcome you to Wichita, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Steve Lavin. Lab, we talk about it every year. A #16's never beaten a #1. Seth says it can happen today. Can it happen here?
Well, Penn's playing with confidence. 7 of 8 games. And, of course, the Jayhawks come in with a sprint to the finish line, winning 8 of 9. And both these teams, Brad, win their conference tournament championships. So the swag is there, the confidence, just like you have.
Exactly. And I'm a three-point shooter, as you are. And that's going to come into play here today as well, one way or the other.
Well, interesting because Bill Self has adapted to his personnel this year. They're not as rugged. They don't rebound like they did in the past, but they tickle the twine from long distance. And Penn, very stingy, miserly defensively, holding opponents under 30% from the three.
Player of the year in the Big 12 is sensational. He's a finalist for all the national honors as well, and Devontae Graham.
Well, Graham, a shot maker, playmaker, deluxe, the ability to shoot from distance at 40%, puts it on the deck. How about 7.5 assists? Likes to share the sugar.
Packed house here in Wichita. #1 against #16. We'll tip it when we come back.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by AT&T. Bud Light. Enjoy it with friends. Enjoy it fresh. And by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
I wanted to call an Alvin Iverson yesterday and say practice. We're talking about practice? A full house yesterday for practice, just because of the Jayhawks being here. Third member of our team, courtside, Evan Washburn. Evan?
Right, good to be with you. So Kansas has proven they can win without their 7-foot center, Udoka Azubuike. Winning the Big 12 title last week, he was out with a left knee sprain. Now he's dressed and available for this game. And yesterday, Bill Self told us he would only be used in a need or an emergency-based situation. But I spoke with Self about an hour and a half ago, and things seem to have improved. They want to get Azubuike in this game, help with the depth inside, but also take advantage of his size, guys. Penn is one of the shortest teams in the country.
And Bill Self's got one of his shortest benches, so anything would be helpful. There's the starting lineups for you, led by Devontae Graham and Mikhailuk, the 2 seniors. Darnell Foreman runs the show for the Quakers at Penn. Bentley is their leading scorer. You saw Steve Donahue on the top of the show already with his final words in the locker room. Done a marvelous job. They had the same number of wins this year as the previous 2 seasons combined. And as Lab said, come in as Ivy League tournament champions. Bill Self, the Hall of Famer, inducted just last September. 15th season at Kansas. 14 straight Big 12 titles, including their Big 12 tourney win over West Virginia recently. The officials: Keith Kimball, Donnie Epley, Brett Smith. Midwest region in front of a packed house in Wichita. And the Quakers will have the first crack at it.
One of the more fundamentally sound teams that we'll see in this field, Brad. Of course, I jinxed them there. Turnover right out of the gate.
Cross-court pass. They tried. Didn't work for him. Mikhailuk on the drive with the left hand. And it's going to be out of bounds to Kansas. Keys to the game, Steve.
Well, Penn will be careful selective in terms of when they run and when they make the Jayhawks guard. And of course, pedal to the metal this year, playing at high octane pace. The Jayhawks want to get up and down the floor.
There's Devontae Graham around a Lightfoot screen, off the glass, in and out. Rebound off the Rothschild.
It's interesting, Brad, this Jayhawk team's been out-rebounded 21 times this year, yet they've offset that with their three-point shooting.
Foreman trying to leave it in the paint, and they turn it over on back-to-back possessions.
Well, the empty possessions will hurt you. Not what Steve Donahue wants on his first two possessions. Got to get shots on the rim.
They pack it inside to Lightfoot. He's going to try to throw his shoulder and go baseline. In and out again. And again, the rebound off to the Quakers. (132-0) all times. Never happened. 2 and 15s, yes. 1 and 16s, no. Foul inside is going to be on Malik Newman, I think. And the first foul of the ball game.
Well, it's natural because of the adrenaline, the vital signs going north for teams early in an NCAA tournament game, first round, an environment like this. The nerves are in play. Takes a while to establish the rhythm, the flow.
And we're still looking for our first point of the game.
And it's coming from a good place. It's because you care, you're amped up, and you've got to be able to channel that energy, that adrenaline in a functional way. Get into your patterns, make that extra pass, lose yourself to the defensive side of the ball to get loose.
Now we got a point.
That always helps too, just to see the ball go through the net.
Absolutely. Graham running that baseline all the way around the screen and then in the paint and got it.
Well, started on one side of the floor, working without the basketball, came all the way around the horn, and a good look on that curl to the basket.
Rothschild trying to get around Lightfoot and threw it away. 3 early turnovers against Penn.
Well, as we see under the basket, Graham, who came from the deep corner, just curls off the screen using teammates to free himself up. The easy deuce.
Graham again on a floater. Got his own miss. Vick on the outside. Got it for 3. Well, Gerald Vick.
Well, again, this is the small ball Jayhawks, not your daddy's Jayhawks, like the Golden State Warriors.
Off the window from Broder on the outside with the answer.
Well, and Broder's had the hot hand late in the season as the Quakers streaked to the Ivy League championship. He's been the go-to player.
Mikhailuk lost the handle on his way to the hoop. Newman will try again. Rebound off to Foreman. Lob ahead. Nice pass. Rothschild in close at it. Rejected by Lightfoot. And transition basket for Malik Newman.
Well, we talked about the high-octane pace. The Jayhawks get down the floor, get organized for good looks as well as any team in the country.
And we've got to push the inside. Tracy Morgan is the last OG, a new comedy coming to TBS on April 3rd. Penn goes to the bench for the first time. Caleb Wood checks in, and Rothschild will get a breather. Foreman Foreman comes around that pick. And here's the guy that just checked in and just got on the scoreboard. Caleb Wood for 3. 61st three-pointer of the year. And it ties us at 7. And the Jayhawks' first turnover.
Good help defensively by the Quakers. They're starting to find their rhythm here offensively. They can be a well-oiled machine when they get it clicking. Sharing the ball, the extra passes.
And in and out for Foreman. Pull up 3, way out. Actually, I think Foreman might have gotten a piece of Graham, but no call.
Again, Penn contests all 3-point shots. Number 2 in the country in that aspect of play. They do it by limiting dribble penetration, not giving teams angles.
And there goes a 3 on their end from Bentley, their leading scorer.
Oh, nice looking release too. Pronation in the wrist, ball comes off the middle 3 fingers. Good rotation.
Still looking for the first media timeout, and if the Quakers have the lead at that first break, they're going to have a lot of confidence coming out of the next timeout with a 3-point lead. Vick, his 3, too long, and out of bounds to Penn. Opening 5 minutes. Good job by the number 16 seed, leading number 1 by 3. Going to get pretty wild, and with a $50,000 jackpot, the stakes are even higher. Snoop Dogg presents a Joker's Wild. New episodes coming soon to TBS. No joking around for the Quakers of Penn. They're 3 for 3 outside the arc. We said the 3 was going to come into play. We meant the other way around.
And if you're going to upset a number 1 seed, a team like Kansas coming in as a 16 seed, you need precise execution. You need 10 to 14 3-pointers from long distance. You have to make your free throws late. Everything has to go well if you're going to pull off an upset.
Wow, nobody home on a drive by Broder. A cakewalk to the rack, and it's a 5-point lead.
Well, that's an example of the way in which Steve Donahue deploys Broder in a manner to take advantage of matchups. They move him inside and out to take advantage of his particular skill set, the versatility.
The Sosa's in there on the inside now for the Jayhawks. Newman skipped and walked.
And here's Broder on that catch and his ability to drive from the elbow. A little clear on this side of the floor. Poor help, poor rotation by the Jayhawks. They'll run some false motion early in the clock, try and lull teams to sleep, catch you napping, and then they've got the ability to strike offensively from distance or off the bounce.
Foreman penetrates, kicks back outside the Woods.
This is the rhythm that we're accustomed to seeing.
3 on the shot clock. Bentley's got to hurry. He hurried just enough, but off the rim. And Graham brings it back for Kansas.
We see here early, Jayhawks looking for angles to drive, but Penn has been tied together defensively, and there's another example on the help side.
Try the alley-oop, and the 3rd turnover instead for Kansas. And let's see who's going to get this.
Like Broder's ability there to lobby with the officials gets the call overturned.
Rhode Island and Oklahoma coming down to the final minute on CBS. We take a look, trying to figure out who last touched this. It's going to be the Quakers' ball.
Broder there, convincing, really sold it to the official.
So a fresh 20 on the clock.
See Broder, playmaking forward.
Woods for 3, rims out. The Sosa on the rebound. Mikhailuk has not gotten a clean look yet. Their best 3-point shooter. He won't get a touch this trip either. The rebound snatched out of there by Broder.
You know, Penn effectively keeping the Jayhawks in front, not allowing, again, those angles or for them to turn the ball up court. Every shot contested. So basic, stay between your man and the basket, but Quakers happen to do it quite well.
Nice hook pass, and the turnaround rims out. Good looking play and a nice move by Broder, just didn't finish. Kansas scoreless their last 6 trips, and they're going to be scoreless on this trip too, as we've got an offensive foul on DeSosa. Watch live games on your computer, your phone, your tablet, or your streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today. Surprising start for Penn, up by 5 as we're almost 8 minutes in, and Steve Donahue's Quakers have played very efficiently.
Well, and that's how they play all year long in the Ivy League, controlling tempo, and this Penn team plays so well in pairs.
A second foul on Newman.
Revlon Exactify Liquid Liner gives you precise lines that last hour after hour. Exactify Liquid Liner. Revlon. Live boldly.
Adam Zucker in New York with this tournament update over on CBS after Trae Young gave the Sooners the lead. E.C. Matthews with 8 of his 10 in the second half, helping the Rams go up by 2. Trae Young going to the line now with 15 seconds left, a 2-point game as we go back to Brad, Steve, and Evan.
All right, thanks, Zook. Keep us posted on that one. Great game going on. The winner of that game meets the winner of Duke and Iona here. In the Midwest, we've got a number 16 seed that's controlled the opening 8 minutes of this game, to be quite honest with you. Let's check in with Evan.
Well, guys, a message from each huddle. Let's start with Penn. You wouldn't know that this is a 16 seed that is up on a 1 seed right now. Completely calm. The priority for Steve Donahue is ball screen defense, something they've done very, very well up to this point. And then quickly for KU, Bill Self, it's all about pace right now. He feels like they're playing way too slow.
They haven't scored in their last 7 trips, the Jayhawks, that is. Meanwhile, the Quakers on an 8-0 run. Nice up and under, but Lightfoot got a piece of that. 4 to shoot. Bentley on a floater. Got it. 5 for Bentley. And the lead swells to 7. A 10-0 run right now for the Quakers.
Well, and that's the challenge for Kansas. If you want to run, you got to get stops, a string of shutouts that creates those open court opportunities. Graham, the drive and finger roll. Near turnover.
That was about 5 minutes, so very close to it, of a drought before Devontae Graham scores inside.
Here's that patient, deliberate offense.
Foreman, and he got the teardrop to fall.
Back to footwork, fundamentals, the shot fake, take it into the teeth of the defense, and a good gather or jump stop.
Mikhailuk off the windows, too strong. Levon Goodman in the lineup with the rebound and the basketball.
Watch the velocity cuts. Again, this team plays well in pairs or tandem.
Broder working against Lightfoot, comes up short on the hook shot. Vic in close.
Vic there with the shifty maneuvering in the open court, able to navigate his way to the rim for the finish.
Gerald with 5 to lead Kansas in scoring here in the opening half of half number 1.
Seeing the Jayhawks with a conscious effort to push the ball in transition.
Nice extra pass, but again the long arms in there of Lightfoot, and Garrett knocked that one out of there. Mikhailuk doesn't get the 3. Nothing but Navy jerseys under there. Bentley with a rebound.
Penn going to take a deep breath here. 2-guard front. Initiate their offense.
Three won't go for Foreman.
Coach Donahue not happy with that shot. Demonstrative.
Vic misses a 3. So both teams take an early shot outside the arc.
One thing is clear, Brad, is Jayhawks don't have that big man down low that they've had over the years. So that puts a lot of pressure on them to shoot the ball well from distance over the course of the game.
There's no Joel Embiid out there. And Azubuike's, Evan told you, on the bench and only if needed today. He might be needed before this thing is over. Penn by 5 with 8:45 to go first half. Well, there he is at the scorer's table as I speak. So he is needed. Available and now needed. Bentley, open triple. Got it. Bill Self's seen enough. I can see why the #1 team in the Midwest is down 8 with 8.5 to go first half. Remember to grab yourself a Coke because your bracket was perfect. It was just that the teams were off. That's what Kansas is feeling like right now. They've got 5 field goals and 4 turnovers. Not exactly what the crowd came to see here in Wichita. Bill Self actually has more league titles than he has losses at Allen Fieldhouse. Figure that one out. Wow. But this isn't Allen Fieldhouse. It just feels like it because of the crowd. But they have not had an opportunity to erupt at all because their team's not playing well, and Penn is.
And Penn, again, they're pressured on the ball. Azubuike with the catch down low.
Big fella's got to kick it back outside 10 on the shot clock. Newman pull up jumper rattles out.
It's a good help by Penn, dropping down, crowding Azubuike, forcing him to pass that ball out.
Great drive. I think that should have been almost goaltending. Somebody grabbed the room, but it doesn't matter. Antonio Woods scores, and the lead goes to 10.
Well, that's what we spoke of, Brad. Penn will run opportunistically off of their defense. They want to stay aggressive, but they'll pick their spots.
Devontae Graham short on a 3. And the loose ball hitting the deck. The Quakers come up with it. 7.5 to go in the half, and number 16's up double digits over the #1 seed, Kansas.
See the Quakers here. They'll investigate, they'll probe, explore, looking for that open opportunity, high percentage shots.
Foreman dribbled into some traffic, had to kick it out to Wood, who had it stripped by Graham. Graham with a steal. Mikhailuk off the window. Graham tips it in.
Wow.
He does a little bit of everything.
Now, not giving up on that play brings the Jayhawk fans to their feet.
And a timeout taken by Penn. Trying to squash this little momentum move by the Jayhawks right now.
To be forever a champion.
The kind of moments they talk about for a lifetime.
The championship game. We'll have it on TBS.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Enterprise. How can we pick you up today? GMC. Live like a pro. And by Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge spring Black Friday deals.
Old Cowtown Museum gives you a little taste of what Wichita was like in the 19th century. Here's our game summary so far. It's all Penn. 4 out of 7 from 3. They've got the rebounding edge in every category. They've led by as many as 10.
On the Jayhawks, with only 1 3-pointer, they average 10 on the year. But it's not just cold shooting. Let's give Penn some credit. They're tied together defensively. They've done that all year long, guarding the 3-point line. They'll give up mid-range shots, but they want to contest at the rim and smother the 3-point line.
Roeder lost the handle out of bounds. Turnover, Quakers, their 5th. You talk about that Penn defense. They've held Kansas scoreless over a stretch of 5 minutes and 17 seconds at one point in this first half. And the Jayhawks, who come in 27-7, have only 13 points with 6.5 minutes to go in the half. Mikhailuk, I don't know what that was about, but
well, again, good defense, not allowing the Jayhawks to turn that corner, to get that first step or angle on a defender.
I know Svi wants to score sometime before halftime, but I'm not sure about that shot.
Well, that's a wild shot, which happens when you get frustrated and a little bit uptight as the Quakers continue to control tempo.
Foreman for three. In and out. As a wicket with a rebound. As we're under 6.5. Devontae Graham's got 6. Vic's got 5, and that's just about it. And here's the big fella working against Broder, drawing the foul. Stream live 24/7 highlight scores and news free across all your connected devices with CBS Sports HQ. Check it out now. CBSSportsHQ.com.
With Broder out of the game, this is a stretch the Jayhawks need to capitalize on. Broder influences the game positively, offensively and defensively. See if the Jayhawks take advantage while he's on the bench.
Newman around a light foot pick, has to kick it back outside. 8 on the shot clock. Graham well aware of that, and he'll take it himself and got it. 8 for Devontae.
Oh, so pretty. Playmaker, shot maker. Heart and soul, this Jayhawk team.
No doubt. Player of the year in the Big 12. Last year it was Frank Mason and Devontae Graham, and now it's Devontae starring in his own show. Wood on the outside. Scramble to the rebound. Graham. He's got Vic to his right. He's got a left hand that'll score. Devontae Graham putting the Jayhawks on his shoulders right now at the 5-minute mark.
The Jayhawks get those stops. They're rewarded.
Bentley. 3 is short. Newman with a rebound. Graham scored their last 6.
A 4-0 run so far with Broder on the bench. Chance to push it to a 6.
Malik Newman on the outside. Hits the back of the iron. Rebound will be out of bounds to Penn.
Well, the beeper, the road runner, high octane, exhibits the left, gets the carom off the rim to go down.
Semi-finalist for the Wooden Award, a finalist in the Final Four for the Naismith, the Koozie, you name it, first-team All-American, and he's shown us why.
Yeah, I like his body language, his energy. There's been no sulking or pouting during these early struggles. Leadership.
I'm glad you point that out, and that's the way he is all the time. I don't care if it's practice, off the court, on the court, always in an upbeat mood. Great kid to be around.
Looks eager, earnest, ready to go. Why shouldn't he?
Sam Jones in the lineup for the first time for the Quakers. Good outside shooter. That hook shot, he's getting good position. He's just not getting the finish. And Broder didn't finish that one either. And now the Jayhawks have numbers. And that leaves Mikhailuk open for 3. Got it! Mikhailuk finally scores a 9-0 Jayhawk run and a travel on the other end on Foreman.
It's the most exciting time of the year in basketball, and college mascots are ready. And when it comes to pumping up fans, nobody does it better. But when it comes to mortgages, they're less confident. Fortunately, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. It's simple, so they can understand the details and get approved in as few as 8 minutes. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender.
Adam Zucker in New York with this tournament update over on CBS. 30 seconds left, shot clock winding down. E.C. Matthews nails a 3 to give the Rams a 5-point lead. They are up 7 with just moments remaining. Looking to get to the second round for the second straight year. Back to Brad Stephen Evan.
All right, Adam, thanks here. Kansas has made a run. They've cut the lead that was once 10 down to 1.
We saw a couple stops and shutouts, and of course Graham showing his ability to create off the deck for some easy baskets. And then the big three by Mikhailuk.
Here he is, Mikhailuk on the outside, the #1 3-point shooter. Newman will try on the outside, just inside the line. Malik Newman gives the Jayhawks the lead back. They led 2-1 and 5-1, and now they have bounced back from being down double digits to regaining the lead here at the 3-minute mark. Penn's been scoreless their last 7 trips until now.
Well, good answer to stop the bleeding.
Foreman has 4. Graham, deep 3. Got it.
A good execution by the Jayhawks. Little dribble weave action. Everyone gets a touch. The open look by Graham.
Loose ball, another turnover. The 4th turnover in the last 5 trips for Penn. And underneath to Sosa for the jam.
A terrific pass in tight quarters by Mikhailuk. Off the bounce, a precise delivery. Spoon feeds for the dunk.
Top seeds matched its biggest lead, up 4. The runner off the window, battle for the rebound, and it's going to be a foul on Rothschild. First round coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship begins tomorrow at noon on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. 1:45 remaining in the half here. #1 seeded Kansas has come from double digits down to lead by 4.
Well, they've done it with their defense. Defense creates offense, where the Jayhawks excel in the open court, able to use that track meet quickness.
We've had 1 free throw in the game, and that was in the opening about 30 seconds.
Well, they get there less frequently this year because of not having the front line firepower they've had of years past. But to Bill Self's credit, using ingenuity and resourcefulness, they found a way to win another championship by attacking that 3-point line.
Broder tried a 3. He had one earlier in the game, missed that one. As we approach 1 minute, ball loose momentarily. 10 on the shot clock. This is when #4 goes to work. Straight up with it and drops it home. Devontae Graham, Kansas by 7. Foreman, tough pass, the extra one out to Wood. He's got an open look and he buried it. Caleb Wood, 3-point specialist. That's his 2nd of the first half.
And Broder with the excellent delivery, playing inside out. Now you step into those 3-point shots and shoot a higher percentage because of that good look.
AT&T at the half is coming up. And we've got final seconds here with the player of the year in the Big 12, ball in hand. It's been Devontae Graham's show in the first half, and he's bumped by Foreman. And they have fouls to give. Everybody does. Coming up, AT&T at the half, scores and highlights. Latest NCAA tournament news, all coming up. AT&T at the half, which is 6.3 away.
They're going to have Graham work without the ball here. Look for him to come off a screen for the catch and shoot opportunity. With 6 seconds, he can put it on the deck and create enough time to even get a second shot on the boards.
So 6.3, it'll be Mikhailuk to inbound. Into Graham. 5. And he's fouled this time in the act of shooting, I think. Steve Donahue doesn't like it, but Graham wisely leaned in to Goodman.
Well, Coach Donahue thought it was a reach-in early before Graham got into that shooting motion. Obviously, the officials didn't agree, as Graham will be rewarded with 3 free throws. Boy, that's a tough one. He was gathering clearly, but was he up into the shooting motion? Didn't look like it.
83% free throw shooter can give himself 19 first-half points if he hits all of these. The reaction of Steve Donahue, as I said, he didn't like it.
Graham sold it, to his credit.
He
That's
did.
a crafty veteran, a senior who's been through the battles in college basketball. Nothing wrong with a little acting, convincing.
I'm sure he watched the Academy Awards a couple weeks ago.
Of course.
What a half. What a player. 18 right now of Kansas 32.
And what impressed me is he didn't force. He just picked his spots opportunistically in the break. Some timely threes.
Those are 3 that you might want to write down right there with 3.6 to go. Whether that makes a difference in this game or not. Time to shoot. Got it away. Oh, and in and out. Almost went for Antonio Woods. So instead of a 10-point deficit that Kansas faced at one point, they come roaring back with Devontae Graham to match their biggest lead of the ball game going to the locker room. Kansas 33 and 16th seeded Penn 26. KU ended on a 22-5 run at the end of the half. Let's check in with Evan.
Well, Coach, what changed with your defense after you were down 10 that allowed you to get back in that game and grab the lead?
I don't know that a lot changed. They missed some shots they made earlier, and we didn't give up any layups on the back cuts, but we gave up, 6 or 7 threes, and we got to do a better job defending the arc. And offensively, we just need to exercise a little patience and drive to pass rather than just driving in there and shooting off-balance shots.
I was going to say, on the offensive side, I know three-pointers are important. Do you like the quality of the look?
No.
Just expect them to fall?
No. I think that we had some very marginal shots. And, but without Doak in there, we don't have a big guy we can play through. So sometimes our perimeter guys try to do a little too much.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks.
It was only 5 threes, Bill. It only seems like 6 or 7. 33-26. Our score at halftime. We'll send you to the AT&T at the half after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
AT&T at the half is presented by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing.
We welcome you inside our studios. It is AT&T at the half. Kansas weathers the storm from Seth's Quakers and has the lead by 7 at the break. We're going to take a look at the pictures. Assess, you still feel comfortable?
I'm never entirely comfortable in many respects, but I was looking pretty good with about 8 minutes to go in the first half.
Up 10?
Up 10, Penn was. Kansas started making some shots. We'll see if my Quakers can regroup and make me a legend.
Let's look
That's really what it's all about today.
The legendary first half. Steve Donahue, I'm sure, was speaking all of your words in that speech. Bill Self, 29 consecutive appearances.
Is he plugging my book, too?
I don't think so. Ryan Bentley leading the way from Penn. We knew he would have to be the story if Seth was going to be right. Here's the 3. It's good. They were up by 8, but Kansas comes storming back. And Brendan, of course, everything that we would see from them begins and ends with 19 for Devontae Graham.
Oh, yeah. Graham was big for them all half. Kansas started out a little bit tight, but Graham was loose. He was able to get it going, and then his backcourt mate knocks down the jumper right there, and then things would snowball.
Speaking of mates, Newman finds Graham. He hits the 3, part of a 16-2 run, up by 7. Candace, sigh of relief as a player. Fair way to describe how Kansas feels now heading into the locker room?
They definitely went into the half with some momentum. Obviously, Graham taking him there. But I think the biggest thing is when you're a young team like Penn, it's finishing quarters, finishing halves, and they didn't do a good job of that. Graham lured them in with three free throws at the end of the game, at the end of the half.
Coach, what do you tell a team when they played their hearts out, had the 10-point lead, all going well, kind of sputtered at the end, but still in it down only 7?
Well, some of it was self-inflicted. Points off turnovers, Kansas up 9-2. Those are things that you can't do. Kansas is exceptional at converting your mistakes at the other end. We saw there with Devontae Graham and Svi. So take care of the ball, one possession at a time. Keep fighting, keep doing. The stats are pretty even throughout the half. They made 5 threes. Kansas struggled guarding pick and rolls in the middle of the floor. They spread it out and kicked them. You're going to have to make shots. You got to make shots to win. You got to make shots to upset a really good team. And if they do that, they'll hang in.
22-5 run to end the half. And Seth, regardless of picking Penn, I know the respect you have for KU. Graham, for those who have seen him for the first time, not a player of the year candidate for no reason. We're talking about a guy who historically has statistically moved up the KU ranks here over the course of the
No question. And what you like about Kansas is they know when things are not looking great, what's supposed to happen, and that's let Devontae do his thing. So you talk about his 19 first-half points. Also 3 for 3 from the foul line. A little bit of a questionable call there, but that to me is going to be a big determination here in the second half because Penn only shot 2 free throws. I just don't see them being able to penetrate well enough to get to the line enough to have that be a factor. They're going to have to bombs away from 3, but they don't have a Devontae Graham to take over in all aspects of the game.
Well, listen, Penn came out there, kind of hit Kansas in the mouth. Kansas looked a little bit rattled. Now, we talked about this on set. I was like, hey, listen, Kansas right now, they seize control of this game, went into the lead, or we went into halftime with the lead. Look for them to build on that in the second half. I see Kansas win this game easily, pulling away.
All right, we'll see what happens as we continue here at the half. There he is.
What a sad face. Do I ever look that sad? Where'd you guys pull that?
You may if you look at Twitter and this lead continues to grow.
Coming back.
There was not a big lead here. Our first game of the tourney going to overtime. Yes, indeed. We'll take a closer look on the other side.
Mexican spices? Nacho cheese sauce? They don't want these coming out.
Who's they?
The burger people, they.
Nacho fries, now serving at a Taco Bell near you.
We're used to seeing the emotion of Dan Hurley. How would he fare in this game and trying to slow down Trae Young, one of the best in the country, and early, deep from 3, getting Oklahoma on the lead. And then defense to offense. On the other end, miss, but don't worry, the putback is good. Lead 3 at the break. And then Jared Terrell just goes off.
What a shot right there. Look at this shot.
Where's that from?
Man, he shot that one from the parking lot right there. Better get a hand up. He's hot.
Ties the game up by 1. How about this little crossover? Ooh, and a 3. We've seen some rough shooting in some of these games. This was not one of them. First lead in a very, very long time. More here from URI. Looked like things were starting to pull away, Seth.
Yeah, they were horrible from the foul line, 12 for 20, but when you have Trae Young, you're never really out of it, and he stepped up big in winning time.
Young had a huge game with 28. Big shot after big shot. Also added 7 assists in the game. They're up 67-66, but Candace, E.C. Matthews had some huge shots in this game.
Huge shots down the stretch. With this and one, taking it, going to the basket. Coming up a little bit short right here. I thought it went down, but going to overtime.
We're going to OT.
Oh, don't shake him out of his shoes with the quick jab step, EC.
The big shot for E.C. Matthews, but he wasn't done. First, the McGusty drive. In the paint and the roll. 76-74 still in it, and then the dagger.
EC for 3. Step it back. Only a 30% three-point shooter. Doesn't matter. Hits the contested 3. Dan Hurley loves it.
Coach, in a game like this, we all focus on Trae Young. What was it that they were able to do to at least hold the rest of his team down, if you will?
Well, Christian James been big for him all year. Cam McGusty, neither one of those guys hit double figures. You're not going to win with just one guy. Trae has 28. They got a big night from Jabani McNeese, but needed more from the wings. And give Rhode Island credit, they guarded him and made big shots. That's how you advance. And EC with the big 3 and a dagger, and OU goes home.
You know, this is kind of exactly how we felt, right? Exhale, not bad, Coach. You know, maybe this is a trend with you here. We start with overtimes.
Hey.
This is kind of what Candace was doing when the Tennessee game went final.
I mean, I had to do that early because it was over so quickly.
Yeah,
Shots fired. Pow, pow.
She was singing Rocky Top pretty early here.
No. All sorts of wrong to those from Wright State.
For what you were saying to Coach when you were talking about what they had to do to shut down the rest of the Oklahoma play, that's been the problem all year. you don't really have to do much to shut down the other players on Oklahoma's team. If you focus on Trae Young and make him work, those other guys have struggled to step up and give him that Robin. We know who Batman is. Robin never showed up this season, and that's why they went home.
We'll be seeing a lot more of Trae Young at the next level, so obviously,
for sure,
we wish him the best. In the meantime, the best still to come on this tournament. Don't move.
Oh, manatees, a.k.a. the sea cow. Oh, there's one.
Manatees in novelty teas? Surprising.
What's come at me, bro?
It's something you say to a friend.
What's not surprising? How much money Matt saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, look, here are those two guys.
What are they famous for?
I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
For a limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m.
Revlon Exactify Liquid Liner gives you precise lines that last hour after hour. Exactify Liquid Liner. Revlon. Live boldly.
AT&T at the Half is presented by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Napa. Quality parts, helpful people. AT&T. Axe. Find your magic. And by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Jayhawk fans happy right now at halftime. It wasn't such a great first half for them until they got warmed up thanks to Devontae Graham. As you take a look, Dub Men plus Care first half statistics. And both teams held the other to a scoring drought of over 5 minutes, but Kansas got hot 22-5 to head into the locker room, and thus their lead here at the break. Brad Nessler, Steve Lavin. You know, that first half, Penn looked great first 10 minutes, and Seth looked good too in his prediction. But Kansas too much Devontae Graham.
Yeah, game of runs, and really Kansas raised their energy levels in terms of defense. That got them out in transition, got 9 points off the Quakers' 7 turnovers, and Graham goes to work off the bounce, rear of the screen, able to drive, use the left for the finish, and in the open court, the Roadrunner, as good as it gets again, going to that left hand. He also had 5 rebounds here, just feeling it as he tickles the twine from long distance, and he's the leader. So not a surprise that he was the catalyst to this Jayhawk run.
And remember, he got those 3 free throws, leaning in on the defender just before the half. Check in, third member of our team, Evan Washburn. Evan.
Well, Brad spoke with Steve Donahue, and as you would imagine, his priority in this second half is Devontae Graham. Now, don't expect any elaborate new defenses to try and shut him off. They just want to try and make his life a bit more miserable as a ball handler. He said he's okay with the contested too, just not the straight line drives or uncontested three-pointers. Offensively, he felt like in the back half of that first half, too much dribbling. This offense is predicated off of ball movement and body movement. Look for more of that here early in the second. But again, that first 4 minutes of this second half, critical for the Quakers.
Their first 4 minutes of the first half was sensational. Led by as many as 10 if you're just joining us. They led 21-11. And then that guy took the Jayhawks on a run that put them up where they are right now, 33-26.
That's a good point. Evan talked about Steve Donahue mentioning too much dribbling.
Yeah.
And purposeful bounce is one thing. To take it to the basket, to draw defenders, to kick it for an open 3, or to get out of trouble from a trap. But otherwise, you want that ball moving through the air if you're Penn to establish a rhythm offensively.
Another thing for Kansas, they had 4 turnovers in the first 8 minutes and didn't have another one the rest of the half as Malik Newman stretches the lead to the biggest of the day so far for the Jayhawks, up 9.
You know, Newman using his size there, able to play over the top.
Nice bounce pass, and Broder easily up and in. He's got 7.
Playing in pairs. The bigs as a tandem, looking for one another.
Let's see if they can make Devontae Graham's life miserable. Pretty good pass to Lightfoot. He draws a foul. You're wondering what Devontae Graham's shot chart looked like in the first half. There you go. Had 5 in the paint, a couple of threes on the outside, and the 3 free throws to end the half.
Well, Kansas doubled Penn in terms of points in the paint, 16-8.
Mitch Lightfoot at the line. He's really had to play a lot more because they have no inside presence. Averaged 1 rebound and less than a point a game last year, and just worked his tail off to even get minutes, and he's getting more and more minutes, including a start today, and that's his first 2 points. Wood checks in. He had 2 threes in the first half. They're going to need all the threes they can get, it appears right now, in the second half. The winner of this one goes on to meet the winner of Seton Hall and NC State, our second game from the Midwest region here in Wichita. And this one's over.
You mentioned Wood checking in the game. Penn's 15-2, and he gets double figures, so nice look.
Great look by Foreman.
Inside, Broder able to pay it off.
So that's a couple possessions with great bounce passes on the inside to get them easy looks.
And also a tie together. They're so effective in the 2-man game, the 3-man game.
That's the first bad shot by Graham today. Had an open look around a pick from the elbow, and he missed badly. 3 en route. Yes, goes for Antonio Woods.
Now Kansas with the breakdown defensively in transition. No one even near the ball. Got to see the ball, find the ball, pressure the ball, rotate to the ball.
Newman wanted to feed it inside the Lightfoot. They cut that off. Mikhailo does get it to him. And the reverse layup's good.
Wow, impressive footwork, showing some agility.
Light feet, you could say, for Lightfoot.
Very good. But bump. Took it from one side of the rim to the other.
The only tie we had in the game was at 7 in the first half. Let's take a look at Mitch Lightfoot again on that last possession.
The interior passing by the Jayhawks just kind of throws the ball out in front. Gathers, finishes.
Boy, they had a cutter that time and totally missed Antonio Woods, who was wide open in the paint. 3 to shoot. Got to hurry. Foreman got it just before the shot clock expired.
We've seen Foreman do that multiple times tonight.
And now he picks up a foul on the other end, his second.
Well, the ability to put it right on the floor into the teeth of the defense. And the big jump stop, the gather, good lift on that jump shot.
Graham on the outside has missed his last 2. Battle for the rebound, won by Lightfoot. Mikhailo got an open look, and he buried it. You can't give him that much room.
Well, Lightfoot generates another opportunity for the Jayhawks, and they capitalize those offensive boards.
Foreman, great drive. Going to draw a foul. I think it's going to be on LeGerald Vick. We'll wait and see. Remember, grab yourself a Coke because your bracket was perfect. It was just that the teams were off. Vick did pick up the foul, his first, and it sends Darnell Foreman to the free throw line. Darnell doesn't practice much. Actually has a stress fracture in his left foot. Really hasn't practiced much for about 6 weeks. Yesterday, we were at the shoot-around, and Evan and I were looking at each other going, how come everybody's down on the left end and he's down here shooting by himself? And then we realized he doesn't practice. He just plays. And here's a foul, offensive foul on Newman. That's 3 on Malik.
Well, Woods here just shuffles the feet, slides to stay in front. Newman extends that forearm, makes it easy for the official to make that call.
That takes him out of the lineup for what should be a considerable amount of time, I would guess. And it puts Marcus Garrett on the floor for Kansas. Here's Wood, 3. He knew it was short, and he tracked down his own miss, but couldn't quite save it. And now Kansas has numbers. Graham will do it himself. Didn't get the bucket, but he drew the foul.
Once again, Crafty, the veteran, understands basketball, a game of angles in so many respects, and takes it at the defender in the open court so he can pick up the foul, as he did late in those 3 free throws. He understands, put that shoulder into the defender, got him in a vulnerable situation when they're more prone to foul. Steps to the line as a result.
Didn't have the greatest landing on that miss, but he goes to the stripe. There's his numbers, all 19 first half. 4 for 4 from the free throw line now. He's got 20. He's got 11 games this year now, 20 plus with that free throw. And also in the first half, the 2 threes he made gave him 100 for the year.
And the shooter's touch.
Back to the biggest lead for the Jayhawks. Just when the Quakers had cut into it, got it down to 4. And now they're down 9. And whoop, they got the steal, though. And the lay-in. Nice play by Antonio Woods.
Woods with some heads-up basketball. Defensively, saw him take the charge, and there, the steal and the bucket. Productive minutes.
Garrett. Nice drive and a nice spin for his first basket.
Boy, Garrett just glided in like an ice skater there.
Good bounce pass, but Bentley couldn't handle it. Nice defense by Graham to knock it off him with 15:47 to go in the ballgame. Our tournament summary is if the day isn't long, Rhode Island and Oklahoma had to take it to overtime. And Rhode Island advances. They go on to meet the winner of the Duke-Iona game. Kansas, the team we've got here, 3rd straight season as #1 seed, lost in the Elite 8 the previous 3 years. Last year it was in the Midwest Regional to Oregon, 74-60. 29 straight tournament appearances, 20-win seasons, 14 straight Big 12 regular season titles, which passed UCLA, the great Wooden years, as the all-time record.
Well, interesting when you look at that remarkable 14 straight. With UCLA, there were 3 coaches that earned those 14 straight. Here at Kansas, only 1, Bill Self.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer, recently inducted just a few months ago. Now for the first time today, Kansas has a double-digit lead, and they maintain it with a rebound to Lightfoot.
Their defense dramatically improved as the game went along, Brad.
And Lightfoot went up for a shot, ball knocked out of bounds, no foul, and it will be Kansas ball.
You know, it's interesting, too, when you start to lose yourself at the defensive end of the floor, it starts to generate points, and also you play more loose in terms of shooting. Kansas 1 of 8 to start the game from the 3-point line, 4 of 4 since.
Graham missed inside. Woods on the run. The lead pass, a beauty. Lightfoot fouls Broder. That was a hard foul.
It's almost like Broder was slowing down to draw the foul. Lightfoot contests with 2 hands, almost like a volleyball player at the net.
Broder looking for double digits. He's a 63% free throw shooter.
It looked clean up top, didn't it, Brad? Maybe a little body, though.
And that one rims out for AJ. You can't teach speed until now. Bleacher Report. Get alerts for your teams and scores before anyone else. Download the app now. AJ Broder, sophomore, Northborough, Mass. Missed them both. Second one badly, in fact.
Penn, the worst free throw shooting team in the Ivy League.
Only 66%, 67% as a team. Mikhailuk going to the rack off the window. That's something he didn't necessarily do early in his career. He started to create more shots. Used to be sort of a catch and shoot guy, but he can get open and he can drive like he just did there. He's got 8 now.
Well, Mikhailuk on that drive, more on balance, uses the window. Just took his time, sees the opening, and puts it high off the square. Good screen by D'Souza.
Svi, a senior, 6'8". And right now, Devontae Graham's was on the wing momentarily, but he gets it back at the top of the key. I was going to say, if he's not playing point, I don't know who is. Garrett with a hook. Wood snatches the rebound. Penn's got to start taking advantage of just about every opportunity right now, be it from the free throw line or getting good shots. Still a long way to go, but they're down 13. Kick ball, they'll reset the shot clock at 20.
Well, they've really locked in on Penn shooters, just taking away their airspace and then ball pressure. So the Quakers can't transport the ball with that precision for catch and shoot opportunities. You put that together and all of a sudden the ball pressure staying attached to shooters leads to stops and shutouts and then runouts.
I don't know if Betley's even touched the ball in the second half. He's their leading scorer. Hasn't scored, I know that, but I don't remember him getting a touch in their offense. Woods, there's a big three. His second of this half for Antonio.
Now Woods at both ends of the floor helping the Quakers' cause.
He's their only guy double digits right now with 10. Kansas lead is 10. D'Souza got his own miss, but I think he's over the back on the rebound. He is.
You know, point blank range. Just didn't finish.
Broder's going to come back in. Rothschild goes out. So it's Wood, Broder, Betley, Woods, and Goodman on the floor right now for the Quakers. And here is Wood around the screen. Yeah, you betcha.
Another good set. Velocity cuts. Ball movement. Down screen for the catch and shoot.
That's his specialty. 63rd three of the year, the third in this game. Gets the Quakers back in striking distance, and that miss will give him an opportunity to cut it to 5 or less.
You don't want to force, but you do look for Caleb Wood. He's got the hot hand. Search for it.
Broder inside, hook shot is good.
And no hesitation on that shot by Broder.
Ooh, Bill Self's hot right now. Don't blame him. His team was up 13. It's evaporated down to 5. Number 1 seed still in front, but the Quakers coming back.
Adam Zucker in New York with this tournament update. We've got a tight one on TNT. It's Demetrius Troy for UNCG. The Spartans are racing a 12-point deficit, going for their first tournament win ever. They trail Gonzaga now by 2 as we go back to Brad, Steve, and Evan.
All right, Zuck, thanks. And Gonzaga UNCG winner goes on to meet the Buckeyes or the Jackrabbits. Check in with Evan.
Well, guys, last 2 huddles for Bill Self, and he just took that timeout knowing he has the under 12 waiting. Just frustrated with the attention to detail. Feeling like on the defensive end, guys are letting guys just get away and not worrying about ball screens as much as they should.
Graham has gone cold from the field. So what was once a 13-point advantage is down to 5 and shrinking maybe if the Quakers score again this trip.
An 8-0 run by Penn. Putting Kansas in the blender here on this possession offensively.
8 on the shot clock. Woods bounce pass. Broder's kind of stuck in the lane. The extra pass underneath. They're going to run out of time and turn it over.
Broder could have shot a little hook there in the lane. Seemed to hesitate. Kind of paralyzed on that catch.
Left hand, pretty move by Graham. 23 for Devontae.
And once again, Graham uses that shoulder puts it into the sternum, the chest of defenders to keep them ground bound so they can't get up to block it. Intelligent basketball.
Wood, wow. He's fun to watch shoot. Caleb Wood, senior out of Reno, has got 4 threes. And that gives him 12 for the game.
Yeah, Lassen Community College came east.
LeGerald Vick, quick crossover. And he's fouled. We've got a good one going with 11 minutes remaining in the ball game. Top ranked Kansas by 4. Four-point game with 11:02 remaining. So we take a look at our game summary. Lab right now, Penn's shot 9 out of 13 in the second half. That's kept them in the game.
Yeah, and 4 of 7 from the three-point line. So that's been the difference as they've closed the gap. And also on their half-court sets, velocity cuts, some good screening, quick ball movement. And so they've established a rhythm offensively.
Usually talk about this point of the second half that free throws will come into play. You see that Kansas hasn't missed, and the Quakers have only made 1, and that was in about the first 40 seconds of the game as LeGerald Vick knocks down another one for Kansas. Remember, number 1 is never lost to number 16, and Bill Self and Kansas doesn't want to be the first. Vick got them both, so 9 for 9 from the free throw line right now for the Jayhawks. And Malik Newman's going to check back in. He had to sit for a while with 3 personals. He'll come in, and Vick will go to the bench.
Kansas with a little full court pressure token. They're going to drop back into their man-to-man. The challenge is Penn is now 9 of 19 from the three-point line. As that stretches your defense, makes you vulnerable to those back cuts.
Here's a guy that's got 4 of them, Wood. Broder's bounce pass inside's a beauty. And they're going to call a foul on the inside, no basket.
Well, right on cue. The threat of the 3 is what sets up the back cuts. Woods just targets for the ball, a good delivery, and taken away by the official. I guess there was a touch foul there.
Mikhailiuk, no shooting foul, so inbounds for Penn with 20 on the shot clock.
Those are the whistles you don't want as a head coach.
Right.
Rarely do you see that.
Broder with the left hand came up short. Lightfoot got at least a hand in his way. Graham, probably not a good shot. He's only had about 2 of those today. Wood step back, just about got the shot away. Now everybody's on the deck trying to get the loose ball. Let's see what we've got.
It was a late whistle, but a good call.
The foul is on Wood. Caleb Wood picks up his first.
You'd rather get it right, even if it's a second or 2 count late. Fans always overreact on the late whistles naturally, but if they get it right, you're pleased.
That pass almost got away from Newman as we're at the midway point of the second half. And Newman will take the baseline jumper. He just checked back in, and he just checked back into the scorebook.
2-man basketball between Lightfoot and Newman on one side of the floor. Well executed.
Past the midway point of the second half. Number 16, Quakers trying to hang with the top seed, Kansas Jayhawks. Bentley finally got a touch, and he missed inside. Garrett, that is the charge.
Well, Broder walling up. Seen that a number of times. His help defense solid. Right on the chest. The glory stat, taking the charge.
Gonzaga and UNGC going out of the final 17 seconds on TNT. Here we've got 9:34 to play. A game that Kansas led by 7 at halftime. And up 8 currently.
Penn has missed some open looks, but give Kansas credit. Their quickness has disrupted Penn some on those interior shots. And
Bentley. Here's Woods, and he's fouled. Going to be on Lightfoot. It's his second.
I was going to say, Brad, Penn playing in the Ivy League doesn't see this type of quickness. And, of course, Kansas in the Big 12 sees it on a regular basis. Right. And it's tough to adjust to. You watch it on film, talk about it, but until you face it.
And again, they're struggling at the free throw line. They're 1 of 5. Watch live games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today. And the Quakers are showing us why they're not a good free throw shooting team.
Well, that's an understatement. 318 in Division I basketball, right near the bottom of all teams in America at 66%.
Newman rims out, rebound of Bentley. Broder asking for it down low against Lightfoot, gets his wish. See if he can connect. He'll kick it back out. Foreman triple. No good.
Lightfoot again, not giving any angles to the rim for Broder.
And Vic buries one on the other end. The lead goes back to 11. Seven on the shot clock. Bentley with Graham all over him. They got it away just in time, and it's perfect for Foreman. Boy, did they need that one.
Stay within distance.
And a whistle and a foul on Broder will send Graham to the free throw line after this timeout. The Quakers are within 8. Here comes the Wolfpack of NC State from the ACC, meeting Seton Hall, the Big East, in our second game here on TBS this afternoon. Did a great job going 11-7 in the ACC this year. Devontae Graham heading to the free throw line with Kansas up by 8, and they have not missed a free throw. 9 for 9. There's the game reset.
Brad, you mentioned the 9 of 9 for Kansas. Penn 1 of 7, and they trail by 8.
Yep.
So like the kicking game in football, that often is the difference. Got to make the extra points and the field goals.
In this case, they're not having their extra points for sure. Take time out to play Infinity's round by round bracket, where each correct pick nets a donation to Coaches versus Cancer. That's kind of cool. Graham, 24 points for Devontae, the senior out of Raleigh, North Carolina. That one rimmed out. Finally missed one. Penn's got 10 3-pointers in this game so far, and they are 11-1 in previous games when they've hit that many. They're going to need that and then some in the last 7.5 minutes of this one. Lightfoot, nice job defensively. Ball never got to the rim, so the shot clock does not reset down to 5. I don't know if they're aware of that. Somebody's going to have to put one up. Wood has a look at this other end of the court to see the shot clock, but they keep it alive in a fresh 30 now.
Run your sets. There's no need to panic. 7 minutes under double figures. Good probe off the bounce.
Lightfoot picks up his third. Steve Donahue was at Cornell when they won a league record 29 wins and went to the Sweet 16, which is the furthest an Ivy team's ever gone since Penn did it in '79. That's a pretty famous '79 Final Four. I like that.
And Foreman, because he probed off the bounce, rewarded with these free throws, and in the bonus.
He got one of them. He's 1 of 4. in double figures now with 10. So the Quakers have 4 guys in double digits, but they're still down by 8. Graham is fouled in the paint. 3 guys there defensively. Let's see who they give it to. It's going to be on Antonio Woods. Well, if this becomes a free throw shooting contest and you keep putting Devontae Graham at the line, it's going to be over.
Penn's been effective from long distance, the three-point shot, but the issue has been the mid-range, the games, the shots near the rim, and the free throws is what cost them.
Devontae 7 out of 8 from the stripe for his 25. Got them both. Back to 10.
No, it's wise to keep the ball in Devontae Graham's hands. Shoots 83%, so not only a shot maker, playmaker, but when he gets to the charity stripe, he converts.
Woods thought about a deep 3, backs it back inside Broder. And finally, Broder got that left hand to work around Lightfoot.
Well, there you go. And no hesitation as well. Bounced back down, using the dribble, right into his shot at point-blank range.
Devontae Graham's 3 is good. Special player.
Solid beat by the Jayhawks. Nothing going for Penn.
The lob underneath. Mikhailuk hung it up there for Vic, who's got great hang time.
Well, precise passing over the top.
Wood, he'll try a 3 again. This one's too strong. And just nice and easy for Kansas right now as they're going to try to bring it up court at the 5-minute mark. Newman, quick shot. Behind the back, the kick out. Graham got over on Wood, trying to steal it, will pick up a foul. As well as he's played defense, that's his first foul.
Here's the over the top. Mikhailuk, excellent, just leading Vic. Almost a goaltend by Vic, but he's able to not cleanly catch it, but kind of guide it in. Using that length for the finish.
He gets a fist bump from his coach as he gets a breather over on the bench. Caleb Wood at the free throw line. 76% free throw shooter. Off the bench, he's got 13, which is tied for tops on the team. He's now their leading scorer in the game. Goodman will come in. And Bentley will sit.
Need some stops if you're Penn. Try and chip away. A 4-minute timeout. Get it under double digits.
And a foul on Foreman on the cut to the basket. That's his 4th.
A little pressure release there. Elbow catch. Backdoor cut.
Here's the second best free throw shooter on the team. Actually, I should say 3rd best. Newman's 81. Mikhailuk 79. Graham leads the way. But still, the Jayhawks have missed only once from the stripe. And that's been a big part of this game.
Mikhailuk really takes his time on his routine. Catches the breath. Uses the bounce. Good release off the middle three fingers and gets the shooters.
He started off quiet in the first half, and now he's got 10. A lead back. Biggest of the game, matching the 13. Broder had it stripped by Graham.
Boy, Graham everywhere. Tasmanian devil. Adhesive defense. Like duct tape.
It's the 11th Quaker turnover. Graham pull up, takes it over Broder. Kept alive. McCulloch says, no, let's waste some time here.
Oh, great judgment.
Yep.
Get it back into Graham's hands. Get organized. Use clock. Understanding time and score. An intelligent choice.
Speed lobs it up there for Lightfoot. And then Lightfoot picks up the foul, trying to get his own miss. And that's his 4th foul. And we're inside 4 to go. Number 1 seed against number 16. And the Jayhawks up by 13. The winner of our game goes on to meet the winner of Seton Hall, North Carolina State on CBS in game 2. That's the Wolfpack of NC State back there stretching, getting ready to take the floor. An excellent season in the ACC this year. With some big wins over Duke and Carolina, among others. Lightfoot, a little bit of a bloody nose, as you can see on that. He not only picked up the foul trying to get his own miss with the offensive rebound, he took one right in the kisser from Broder. And Broder still can't find range from the free throw line. Right there. Mitch says that's not quite fair. I pick up my 4th foul and I get one in the nose.
A honker box. I want to protect that if possible.
There's a free throw finally going for A.J. Broder. 14 points for him. That leads the way for the Quakers.
5 of 14 for the Quakers from the free throw line. On the flip side, Kansas 14 of 15, 93% clip, and that's been the difference.
Saw Bentley go to the bench, and we talked about it earlier, but can't reiterate it enough. I guess he's their leading scorer, and he's only got 8 points and hasn't scored in the second half, so that hasn't helped their offense too much. Graham, 3's off the mark. Newman, though, gets it right back, and a fresh shot clock.
Some good judgments here by the Jayhawks.
Malik goes to the rack anyway. He's got 10.
Well, sees the lane and attacks the cup.
Biggest lead of the game, 14.
That's where you want to stay aggressive offensively, not get passive. Jayhawks have done that here with the lead.
Wood. 3 won't go. And Newman will slow it down again, wisely.
But those type of judgments help you win games as Newman takes off. And Kansas won a lot of close games down the stretch, and here he sees the lane, and Penn concerned about the shooter, stretches and opens.
He's got great hops and put it up off the window to boot, so there wasn't much chance of deflecting that shot. Graham lobs it, Lightfoot too short, but they got it back and scored it anyway.
Lightfoot, important contributions throughout this game. Did some dirty work, got on the floor, set screens, putbacks.
That's what he's done all year for him. And Wood misses back-to-back 3s.
There he is again. Lightfoot cleaning up the boards.
Just a matter of time, it appears now, for the top seed in the Midwest and their fans, just when I say that, come to their feet to react here in Wichita. Let's put it this way. Jayhawk fans didn't come to watch one game in Wichita. They came to watch 2.
Lightfoot again, both ends of the floor, getting on the glass, using the size and length to influence this game in a positive manner for the Jayhawks.
Broder's going to try a triple.
Yikes.
Well, that's not really a strong suit. He has hit 19 of them this year, but
with Penn going against a #1 seed, just doesn't have that margin for error. And some critical turnovers, the free throw shooting costly in this game.
So it'll go to 133-0. #1 seeds against #16s here in the next 55 seconds or so. Foul on the rebound on Woods. Well, in 120 years of basketball, Kansas usually doesn't lose to somebody they're supposed to beat, and they're not going to lose here either. And a lot of reserves coming in for both teams, which is good. You get a little bit of the feel of the tournament and the madness of March. There's your hero of the day. He'll be back for more on Saturday against either NC State or Seton Hall. Devontae Graham, obviously the star of this one, with 29.
A classy move by Steve Donahue to get his reserves into the game, allow him to get into that box score of an NCAA tournament. Something they can look back on, participating in a special sporting event like the NCAA tournament, as good as it gets.
And Arnell Foreman and the seniors of Penn know that this is their last time in that uniform, and obviously emotional time for them, but they played their hearts out and they had a great first 10 minutes. In fact, the whole first half was good.
And an outstanding season. 24-9 when it's all said and done. Right. Ivy League champs, 12-2 in league play, get the conference tournament championship as well. And Steve Donahue spent 10 years under Fran Dunphy at Penn, his mentor, and he's had success, as you mentioned, at Cornell, and his experience at Boston College, I think, informed even a better coach on his return to Penn. Got this program moving in the right direction.
As I said, as many wins this year as the previous 2 years combined. They led for 12.5 minutes of this one.
You know, it's really interesting because they shot the ball well for most of the game from the three-point line. It was just the free throw shooting and then some hurried shots inside. And again, Kansas's quickness a factor in that.
Free throws really killed them. Had they hit those, it would be a different story. Kansas hit all but one of the, all but two of theirs, I should say. And the three goes for Sam Jones, the senior, making his final appearance, and has a big smile on his face as he backpedals down court. He'll remember that one for a while.
Gilbert, Arizona, with the Gilbert Christian out west, representing.
Possession arrow goes to Penn. Good game for Mitch Lightfoot. Usually doesn't score much. 9 today, though. And as Lab said, did the dirty work, rebounds. Good job defensively, blocking a couple of shots. Taking one on the nose for the team. Shot clock and game clock virtually identical here. That three rims out. Final 15 seconds. Cunliffe will dribble it into the front court. Bill Self will have his 651st career win, his 444th at Kansas, and the crowd loving it. So we've got another team advance to round 2. Our bracket in the Midwest looks like this. A Saturday game coming up for the Jayhawks, and they will meet the winner of Seton Hall and NC State, which is our second game, about 25 minutes from now. Come from behind win for Kansas, 76-60. We'll be back momentarily. Back in Wichita, 16-point win for the top seed, the Kansas Jayhawks, who trailed in the first half actually by 10 and came back to take a 7-point halftime lead at 33-26. Stretched it out to as many as 19 before we got to the final score, as they go to 28-7 on the year and advance to the second round. Coming up on Saturday, and Evans with a winning coach and the star of the show. Ev.
Thanks, Brad. Well, Coach, you told me earlier today that this wasn't your typical 16 seed. What type of effort and execution was required to get this win?
Well, I don't know that we executed great, but we had some individuals make some plays and we scored a lot more around the rim the second half and drove it downhill. But, you know, we're fortunate they missed some open looks there in the last 10 minutes, but they're a hard team to play against. They're so well coached, and they made us look pretty bad for a while.
It's nothing new to you, but what type of luxury is Devontae in moments like that where you're not at your best?
You know, I didn't realize he had 19 the first half, and there's no telling where the game would have been if we didn't have him. But, you know, he does this each and every night. That's why he's one of the best.
Coach, thanks for seeing you on Saturday.
You bet.
Devontae, come on in here. I'd love to get your mindset when this game, you were down 10 in the first half. It's a 16 seed. There's tension in the building. What was your approach?
I feel like we came out tight. You know, we usually play looser than that to start the games, but I kind of got a feel of how they was guarding me out the ball screens, and they was more worried about the big man catching the lob, so I just knew I had to be aggressive, and I just started to try to get downhill, and I knew my shot would fall eventually.
No, I know you're just happy to move on, but this game coming up here next, how much would you like to see NC State as a Raleigh kid? I know you have some connection to that group.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends on that squad. I text them once we found out that we could play them, and told them to get the W so you know I could get a chance to play against them.
We'll get a seat and you can watch it. Congrats on a great win.
Thank you, appreciate it,
guys.
Devontae Graham, the star of the first game with 29. Tournament games continue live on CBS, TNT, and True TV. 9th seed NC State, number 8 seed Seton Hall's coming up next in about 25 minutes from Wichita. We'll send you to our studio for Capital One Tournament Central after these messages.